Good day, Ma'am Gora. My name is Stefani from batch 2020, and hereby I would like to present an observation checklist regarding students' interaction and leadership. Okay, so for the detailed observation, I was assigned to observe in Panggiluhur Junior High School, which addressed at Hajingawi Street, number 21, South Gandaria, Cilandak, South Jakarta. Observation period held from 15th of August until 21st of October, right before the midterm exam. And there, I assist for 8th grade, so as for this observation, we'll be talk more about students' interaction and leadership in 8th grade. But later, I barely gotta talk about like the 7th and 9th grade also. Okay, then for the first point is racial or ethnic presentation in placement classes, honor classes, and gifted program is balanced. For this, I gave 5 stars for this point. In each class, there is no class full of group with certain ratio. Students are randomly divided into several classes. So, in one class, the students are diverse from varied cultural background, so there is a balance in each class. Each class is even balanced between high-achieving and low-achieving students, so all of them are evenly divided. According to Leonard in 2002, sociocultural theory focuses on the causal relationship between social interaction and individual cognitive development. In this case, the social interaction itself are constructed by interaction with friends or peers in classroom. Code and Fulkerson on 2014 point out interculturality as the ability to actively participate in communication guided by an awareness and understanding of cultures, and also by identify a shift in the field from students' understanding the relationship between a given culture's perspective, products, and practices to students interacting with cultural competence and understanding. Thus, students may communicate with their peers who have different culture as them, so it could develop open-mindedness, respect, and the ability to respond actively during interaction with their friends from varied cultural backgrounds. Okay, and as for the next point is youth voice is considered in decision making by regularly meeting with randomly selected groups of students to obtain feedback. In this point, I gave 4 stars. So as for the implementation in school, the student council frequently having a regular meeting that held once in a week to gather any ideas, suggestions, or criticism. And there's a case when students from 9th grade were bullied by his classmates. This was such an issue because it proved that is discomfort for the victim. Even it could ruin victim's mental health. By this incident, the student council discussed with the headmaster to make an anti-bullying organization to anticipate the same incident in the future. This is quite important to make comfortable environment in school. Students supposed embracing and approaching those who felt lonely or having some problems. It is necessary to cherish them as much as possible because every human deserves to be treated as human being. And if students want to make a joke, then they could make an appropriate joke without harmful the others. At least, they can behave well and didn't cross the line. Okay, and for the next point is about there is a variety of students' leadership opportunities for all students. As for this point, I give 4 stars because there are some activities that give an opportunity for students to encourage their leadership skills, such as being a committee for school festival, being leader of a group in scouting activities, and even being a leader in a group work. In classroom, sometimes the lessons were conducted in student-centered. So students will be divided into groups, and then each groups will discuss some parts of the lessons. For instance, in civic education, Group 1 will be discussed about legislative branch, while then Group 2 will be discussed about executive branch, and so on. In each group, there will be one student who gotta lead the discussions and divide the jobs to be done to the rest of the members. As for the school festival, the Students' Council opens requirement for those who want to be the committee. Each student will have their own jobs, such as sports divisions focus on looking for the participants who would like to join the competitions, and then the logistic divisions, they focus on preparing every equipment, and etc. Students not only lead the team, but leadership is more likely how they can lead themselves to accomplish the goals by being competent and committed to completing their jobs. And then the next point, students of different groups integrate socially outside of the classroom. For this point, I also gave like 4 stars because I saw the students in Pambiluhur Junior High School are closely interact despite the differences that they have. For instance, there are some students who devotees as Muslim have chance to worship every Friday, and when they go back to the classroom, the rest of the students welcoming and respecting them. Some of the times they remind those students they are Muslim to worship and vice versa. The tolerance in this school is quite solid. In other cases, the integrate was shown by scouting activities, whereas students are divided into groups consists of students from 7th until 9th grade. So in one group, there will be combination of students from each grade. Suhadi in 2015 argues, scouting skills include the social aspect of spiritual abilities, emotional skill, social skill, managerial skill, and physical skills. Every scout member who has the knowledge and scouting skills can be used as a basis for solving all problems in daily life. Consequently, teamwork being an essential part in scouting activities. Students could work together as a team to solve the problem with every skills that they have. And also the communication as a part of the interaction is also needed to maintain work consistency, so that they can solve problems successfully as fast as possible. And then the next point is about there are identified sport programs to promote achievement and retention of lower achieving groups. I gave 4 stars because in the implementation, the school conducted remedial program and peer tutoring program. As for the peer tutoring was conducted before the examination test by giving additional time to learn with peers because it's more effective if students learn together with their friends. School may assign some students with higher achievement to tutoring their friends with lower achievement. Students were given freedom to make a study group and learn in school or outside school. The role of tutors not only have to teach their friends, but also lead them in discussions or learning. By peer tutoring, less active students will become active because they are not ashamed to ask questions and express opinions freely to their peers. Smith and Nicolai in 2013 stated that the positive aspect of peer tutoring is that it encourages tutors to improve their knowledge and teaching skills. In response, the Tutees may also work collaboratively. While for the remedial program is conducted after the exam if student scores are below the minimum criterion of mastery learning. According to Huang in 2010, the goal of remedial instruction is to give low-achieving students more opportunities to reinforce basic knowledge in common subjects so that they can meet minimum academic standards. Thus, we need to identify the difficulties of students with low achieving. Learners who require remedial have poor memory, short attention span, and are easily distracted by other things. They also have relatively poor comprehensive power, a lack of learning motivation and self-confidence, and a slow self-expectation. By a remedial program, students may satisfy as it helps them to provide opportunity to enhance their knowledge by providing them a better understanding of the content. And the next point is students are involved in community service and service learning activities. As for this point, I give 3 stars. So there is actually a buzzer program that is held annually and precisely as one of the activities in Panggil Hurka. The activities aims to enhance students' empathy and improving students' academic performance by helping out impoverished people. Students could donate some items that are still valuable, such as educational equipments like books, stationery, shoes, uniform, and then clothes, toys, etc. Furthermore, those items will be sold in underprice or will be given for the impoverished people. Kate on 1996 defined that community service may be focused on improving students' character, integration into adult roles, and citizenship skills, or on improving the school's capacity to involve the students actively into their learning. In addition, Woodnow on 1995 stated, by involving in community service activities, students are having a meaningful experience. They can making a difference in another person's life, feeling appreciated and taking initiative and pride in what they have done. And as for the last point, there is a program in place to facilitate the adaptation of new students into the school and classroom. I only gave 1 star, or from the scale 1 to 5, I rate it as 1, because apparently there is no program to facilitate the adaptation of new students, particularly international students. Therefore, students may use English as universal language to communicate with their new friends and slowly adapt with new culture they're living in. In the implementation of the school that I observe, there is one international student in 7th grade and she uses English on her daily basis. Unfortunately, she has a lot of friends who can speak English fluently, so she can slowly adapting in the school while learning local culture. And here are the references that I used for this presentation. Thank you for listening to my presentation.